Today we are working Psalm 34. In Psalm Magic, Psalm 34 is traditionally used to dissolve arrogance, for influential friends, to reverse evil, and for health of the bones. You can use it for any of those things today, or if you want to follow along with my purpose today, we are using this to find solutions in an impossible situation. And before we get into the psalm, it's important to recognize that with the infinite, there are no such things as impossible situations. There's no easy, there's no difficult, it's all the same. So no matter how impossible your situation seems, you can bring it to this psalm and work the magic of this psalm and find a solution. The way we work psalm magic is very simple and effective. We take the psalm and we read it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is known as an incantation. After we've finished that incantation, we go back through the psalm one verse at a time, and we search for hidden meanings within each verse. We refer to those meanings as magic seeds, because as we find those and we contemplate those and we apply those to whatever the situation is that we've brought to the psalm, we are planting those seeds in the fertile grounds of our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do right now with Psalm 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is he that desireth life, and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as to be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. Starting off with, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. The psalmist here is acting like our inner guide. It's the voice of our guide. It's the voice of a teacher. When we say that we will bless the Lord at all times, first of all, who is the Lord? The Lord in the Psalms is translated to Yud-He-Vav-He, or the Tetragrammaton. This would be one of the Yahwist Psalms, and is a representation or a symbol to a psalmic magician of the one power, the one creative force of the universe. And there's only one. There's nothing to oppose it. There's nothing that can thwart it in any way. And that's why one with God is a majority. God is for you, and since God is for you, nothing can be against you. So no matter how impossible this problem seems that you've brought to the psalm, there's no problem from God's point of view. God is happy to solve it for you because you are an extension of this power. You are like a beam of light from the star that is the source of all. So there's a lot of different qualities of this force. There's the quality of life itself. It's what's beating your heart. There's the quality of soul. Like we said, it's you as an extension of this force. So you didn't create yourself, but that's the only thing that differentiates you between you and this force. That you didn't create yourself, it created you. But everything else, you're the same. There's also the quality of spirit, and spirit is that which cannot be destroyed. So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing that can harm you as a spirit. Spirit is indestructible. If you shot a gun at a ray of sunlight, what would it do to the ray of sunlight? Nothing. That's you. You are pure power, spirit. Infinite intelligence is a quality of this force. The genius of the creator of all that is extends itself as you, and that's why you are an extension of that same genius. Infinite truth, there's only that which is real from God's perspective. From this power's point of view, only that which is true exists. Now, because we live in a world of illusions and a world of projections, our world doesn't really exist from the point of view of the infinite. And that's why there's nothing that's difficult for the infinite, because the infinite only knows the truth. And so when we are in alignment with the force of all that is, or what they call the Lord in the Psalms, then our perception gets tweaked to that which is true. And that's how all of these problems just dissolve, because they don't really exist from God's point of view. Infinite love is a quality of God. You are created out of an act of love. You are love incarnate. That's why love is the law. There is only love. You are an expression of that which is divine love. And that's the only thing that's true about you. Everything else can be removed and it won't affect who you are. So therefore, this problem can easily be removed because it has nothing to do with perfect love. There's infinite law or divine law. And the most divine of divine laws is the law of cause and effect. And out of that law of cause and effect come all the other divine laws. And anything that's not in alignment with divine law doesn't really exist either. And that's why you have nothing to worry about, because you've come to the source of all that is and are aligning yourself with that power. And any problem that seems insurmountable doesn't exist within the law. And then divine presence also is another quality that we frequently talk about. And that's talked about a lot in this psalm, frequently known as the fear of the Lord. And fear means awe. Fear means awe. And it's really the ecstasy of experiencing the presence, the omnipresence of this infinite force. I will bless the Lord at all times. This is what we're blessing, is this conglomeration of qualities plus so much more that we can't even comprehend. And when we bless the Lord, we use our God-given powers to bless that which can bless us. That's a circuit of power and blessing that can never end. But we have to always start the ball rolling. So that's what we're doing here. I will bless the Lord at all times, not just now, but at all times. First instruction on how to get an impossible problem solved is to bless the Lord at all times. If you're thinking about your problem, you're not blessing the Lord. If something needs to happen, if you need to do something in regards to this problem, you'll be told, you'll be shown. But other than that, you're going to do your very best to discipline your mind to bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. If you're bitching and moaning about your problem, you're not praising the Lord with your mouth. So you're going to change how you're using your words. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Your soul making boast of the Lord is that you're going to make it your habit to think only of these qualities, to think only of the qualities of the infinite and not about anything else. And it says, the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. The humble in this regard that are going to hear are all of the thought forms in your mind, being instructed by your decision to only think of the qualities of the infinite. And therefore, if you're thinking only of the qualities of the infinite, the thought forms you're building are based only on the qualities of the Lord, and therefore, only healing can occur. Now, he's talking to the congregation, or she or they are talking to the congregation here, the teacher is, and the congregation is all the thoughts in your mind. So you're being called to attention to pull it together. All aspects of your mind are going to listen right now to these instructions. And it says, "Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together." All of my thoughts are going to magnify the Lord. Now, you can't make the Lord bigger, because the Lord is all there is, but you can magnify your experience of the Lord. And that's what we're doing. And to exalt his name, the name is the nature. We're talking about the qualities of the infinite. It's not some external deity that you're going, "Oh, Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovah." It's the qualities that we just went through. And there are many other qualities of the Lord. That's what you want to contemplate. That's how this magic becomes powerful, is when you start actually thinking of those qualities or the names of God. The name of anything in the Psalms means the nature of that thing. "I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears." So that's the formula. You start. You have to start. You can't just say, "Why didn't you deliver me from my fears?" You have to start. You seek the Lord, and the Lord hears you and responds. That's the formula. "They looked unto him, and they were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed." So they are the different thoughts in your mind right now. We've instructed those thoughts in our minds and those thought forms in our minds to seek the Lord. Anytime they put anything in the past tense in the psalm, it's either a historical psalm or it's doing it in a way so that you can speed up your results. And in this way, it's speeding up your results. It's as if you've already done this. "They looked unto him, and they were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed." So you have nothing to be afraid of, and you have no reason to be ashamed. The infinite does not condemn you. You do not have to feel guilty about anything. No reason to feel guilty. You have no reason to feel ashamed, even if you've done something stupid. It's okay. The universe doesn't look at you and say, "Oh, you're so stupid." The universe only looks at you with compassion. And that's what's happening. And when you look to the source of all that is, your face is lightened. In other words, your problem is solved. Your burden is lifted. "This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles." So the poor man is anything within you that needs help. And it's saying whatever it is that you need, whatever this problem is, we're putting it in the past tense. It's already been solved. You've already been helped. Just because you cried, you used your voice, or your internal voice in this case even, it doesn't have to be a sound that you make in the physical world. You cry out, meaning that you reach out to the source of all that is and ask for help. And then it hears you and saves you. "The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them." So the angel of the Lord that encamps around about you, in this case, I would call that Ariel, if I had to give it a name, because Ariel governs the fear of the Lord, governs the presence of the Lord. And so let's just say, just for the sake of it, that it is Ariel. Ariel is also the angel of magic. And so this angel has been sent to you to wave its wand to fix this, to change this in a way that you can't understand how to do yourself, because you see it as impossible. Ariel doesn't see it as impossible. "The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them." So fearing the Lord means having awe. The creative principle itself is the only thing that deserves your awe. Nothing else deserves awe. You can respect other things, but awe is reserved only for this force, for your creator. And when you have that awe and you have that ecstasy, you have nothing to fear in the world. And so when you have that experience of feeling the presence of the infinite, it's an ecstatic experience. And through that ecstasy, you can think of Ariel, who's the angel of electricity. That electrical current of ecstasy moves through every part of your being and solves the problem in an instant. saving you out of all your troubles, delivering you. O taste and see the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. So when it's saying taste and see the Lord is good, it's saying try it out. Experiment. Experiment with this fear of the Lord thing. When you feel the presence of the Lord, notice how things change. Notice the power of that. Notice that there's electricity everywhere. Test it out. Try it out. You're going to notice it. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. So there's nothing for you to fear or want or desire when you fear the Lord. And in this case, you're being called one of God's saints. Sometimes the saints in the Psalms have a different connotation. But in this case, it's talking about you. You're one of God's saints. You may not think of yourself that way, but God thinks of you that way. And there's nothing for you to worry about. God wants you to be happy. God wants this solved. God wants everything good for you. And since that's true, the only thing standing in your way is in your own mind, forgetting to connect with it. And the way you connect with it is through the fear. And fear just means the ecstasy, experiencing viscerally the power, the awe, the grandeur of it. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. The young lions here are talking about people who say, I'll just do it myself. I'm self-sufficient. I can do everything all by myself. I don't need anything. I don't need any Lord. I don't need any of that. Then they go hungry because they think that they're supposed to do it all themselves. And here it's saying, but if you seek the Lord, you're not going to want any good thing. And what thing do you want other than good things? You won't want for anything, including the solving of this problem, if you just put yourself in alignment. And it makes sense when you recognize that you are like a beam of light from a central star. Seeing yourself as being separate doesn't make you separate, but it does use your mind in a way that creates experiences that are not real. Then you start to experience a world where you're all by yourself. It's not true. You're still connected. You're still a shining ray of light from the central star, but because of your powers of the mind and of creation, you can create a world in which you believe you are separate. And it's very real. It's a very real experience. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be a young lion that lacks and suffers hunger. You want instead to recognize who you really are. You're an extension of light. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. This is your inner guide saying, come inside into the inner chamber where you are one. And I want to teach you what the fear of the Lord feels like. Fear in the world is awful because it hurts. Fear of the Lord doesn't hurt. It feels good. What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? That's a wonderful thing to ask yourself. What kind of a person am I that wants to know who I am as an eternal being, that I may see good? What a wonderful thing to contemplate. Another way of thinking about that is when you've got a problem and you're like, I can't solve this, there's no way out of this, you can just ask yourself, how is this in God's point of view? What does this look like from the point of view of heaven versus the point of view of this world? Very different. Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. It's giving you very simple, easy instructions on how to orient yourself properly so that this problem is solved instantly. To keep your tongue from evil, that means stop talking about it, stop complaining about it, stop telling everybody about it, stop talking about it to yourself, stop trying to figure it out for yourself, or giving reasons why it's happening, or giving reasons why it's impossible to solve. That's speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. It's still giving you instructions. Depart from evil. I'm completely disconnecting myself from the problem. I'm disconnecting myself from the source of the problem, the ideas about the problem, the people, the things, the everything, the thought forms, the intentions, whatever it is. I'm completely disconnecting myself from it. That's departing from evil. And do good, seek peace and pursue it. To do good means to think good. You can't do good without thinking good. So what's in front of you to do Ask yourself, how am I being guided with what is right in front of me to do it in the best way possible? Seek peace and pursue it. Remember, peace has to be our first goal. We can remind ourselves that peace is an all-inclusive package. It's a package deal. Anything that we need or want is included in that peace. That's seek ye first the kingdom of heaven that is within you. It simply means finding peace of mind, which is also righteousness. Righteousness is right-mindedness. We're being instructed to have healthy thinking habits here. The eyes of the Lord are upon righteousness, and his ears are open unto their cry. When you're in your right mind, you're automatically in alignment with the infinite. When you're in alignment with the infinite and you're in your right mind, you can't help but have resolution. That is resolution energy. Resolution energy comes from your right mind. So the more peaceful you experience yourself, the more peace of mind you have, the more peace and relaxation you have in your body, the more, quote, righteousness you have. And that is automatic resolution energy that resolves these things. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The reason why the Lord wants to cut off the remembrance of them that do evil is because they don't exist. The Lord doesn't want you to remember things that aren't real. So it's talking about your own ego mind here. We're not looking at it externally. We're looking at it magically. And your own ego mind does evil because it comes from the point of view that you're separate and that nothing can work for you. And let's look at all the reasons why it can't work for you, and let's build evidence to support the idea that nothing can ever work for you and you can't get out of this problem and that it's unsolvable. Let's make this our full-time work, to talk and see and create ways to prove that there's no way out of this. That's what the infinite wants you to not only get cut out of your life, but not remember it. Don't think that way anymore. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Not just this one, but all of them. There's no trouble in the Lord. And the righteous, when they cry out, make that first move. When you're coming from your right mind and you reach out to the infinite automatically responds. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as to be of a contrite spirit. In this regard, the broken heart and contrite spirit means humility, means understanding who you are. The arrogance of the ego is broken at that point. The arrogance of the ego is this idea that you're nothing, or that you're bad, or that you're evil, or that you're not good enough, or that you're insignificant, or that you deserve this, or that the universe is too big for you to even be cared for. All of those kinds of ideas. Those are arrogant ideas. Those things are going to get broken. That's the broken heart we're looking at. The heart meaning the habitual thought patterns of the ego mind. So that's the broken heart. And the contrite spirit means remembering who you are in relationship to the infinite. You are an extension of the infinite. The only difference between you and the infinite is that the infinite created you. You didn't create the infinite and you didn't create yourself. But there is no other difference. There is no other difference. When it says the Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart and saveth such as to be of a contrite spirit, it's talking about you as a soul when you allow yourself to look at the world free from the eyes of the ego and instead through the eyes of your soul. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of all of them. No matter what the afflictions are, each and every one of them you're now being delivered from. But your job is to be righteous. In other words, staying in that peaceful frame of mind, looking only to the infinite for help, and not going on and on about the reasons why none of this can ever work for you, or about how bad life is, or et cetera, that it talked about earlier. You're being delivered from each problem, not just this one, but every single one. He keepeth all his bones, and not one of them is broken. So nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Therefore, there is nothing to fear. That's why we say, if you have the fear of the Lord, you have nothing to fear. Because the fear of the Lord is that pure energy, that pure ecstasy, that lightning bolt straight from Ariel. Nothing can touch you. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. Evil destroys itself. Everything that is a problem eats itself up, and you don't have to be part of it. You can just sit back and watch the tower crumble. Get some popcorn, sit back and watch the problem eat itself. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. So to be redeemed means to remember who you really are. To redeem yourself is to pull you out of all this nonsense and say, remember that you're the star, this bright shining soul that is of the same exact fabric as its creator. That's how powerful you are. It's not how you're thinking when you're dealing with this problem. Being redeemed is having the infinite remind you of who you really are. And for some of us, when we first see that, it's almost too scary to recognize how powerful we are. It's like, oh, that can't be true. That can't be me. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants. How do you serve the Lord? How do you serve the Lord? By being willing to be shown in each and every moment what to do, what to say, how to say it. That's why you have an inner guide. That's how you serve the Lord. You don't serve the Lord by coming up with grandiose ideas. It's, what do I do in this situation? And you're guided and led what to do. That's how you serve the Lord. Because to serve the Lord means to get back to who you are as an extension of the Lord. And when you get back to who you are as a pure extension of the Lord, all of this is just automatic. You don't have to be shown how to shine. You just do. You just shine. But in the interim, since you've forgotten who you are, the remembrance process can seem like, whoa, huge big deal, right? Because you're being redeemed, remembering. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. You don't worry about gravity. You trust that the sun's going to shine in the morning. You don't worry about that. You trust that there's going to be oxygen when you take a breath. Well, though all those things are nothing compared to the Lord, which is the fabric out of which your soul has been fashioned, has been extended. So if you trust in that, you have nothing to fear. You have no worries. Every single problem is solved. And so getting your mind around this is such a powerful experience. And so you just keep coming back to the same psalm each and every day until you get a sense of certainty and peace that your problem is solved and that you don't have to do anything more about it. And anything that you do need to do will be shown to you. It'll be obvious. But other than that, you just leave it alone and you move on to something else. Thank you so very much for spending some time with me today. Until next time, blessed be.